We're going to call the July 10th Avon Town Council meeting to order. Everyone please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Julie, would you take a roll call, please?
Jason Puckett. Don Loudon.
Present.
Greg Zuzan.
Present.
Bill Holland.
Present.
Robert Pope.
Present.
Thank you. The first item is the consent agenda. Is there any discussion or questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion. I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda with the check register for July 10th, the executive session memoranda, the June 26th work session memoranda, and the approval of minutes of the June 26th council meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Julie, roll call, please.
Robert Pope.
4.
Greg Zuzan.
4.
Bill Holland.
4.
Don Loudon.
4. Next is public comment. The public may comment on items on the agenda that are not part of a public hearing or on a specific matter within the council's jurisdiction. If you'd like to come forward, state your name, address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes, please. No one coming forward. We're going to close the first of 2 public comment sessions. Next is council comment and liaison reports. Robert?
The only thing, our stormwater board meeting this month only had invoices to approve, so nothing real meaty there.
Greg?
I have nothing.
Bill?
Nothing to report.
I had 2 things. I attended the commissioners meeting. Not a whole lot going on. They are upgrading their security automation upgrade at all of their facilities. And then they awarded 2 projects, but one's in Plainfield, one's in Brownsburg, nothing in Avon. And then second, attended a special meeting for the Hendricks County Recycling District. And we passed a resolution to purchase real estate, which will be hopefully the permanent home of the district. But of course, we are in the process of doing due diligence and getting the 2 appraisals. That's it for me. Next is the introduction of ordinance 2025-22, amending the travel policy.
I'm going to do department update.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is different than this, and then I go back and forth. Department updates. Sorry about that, Shelby.
Good evening, Shelby Pride, Parks and Recreation Director. We've had a busy month, really busy. On the recreation side of things, we had a great turnout for Night at the Park last week. It was July 3rd. We guess about 7,000 people were here. It felt about the same as last year, so it was really good. That's about our capacity. I don't think we can take much more of that, especially with the parking. But thank you to everyone who volunteered. Robert, I know Robert was there, volunteered in the town booth. It was just really great to be out and have the community here. We hosted this week's fun run for the Parks Foundation of Hendricks County. They leave the signs up for 1 week, but they were actually physically on location last night. So it was really great to have that exposure for our park as well. This past Tuesday at our farmers market, I've heard was one of our biggest and best that we have ever had. It was our very first berry festival. So what we did was we gave vendors tickets. We provided the tickets for everyone that made a purchase. The vendor would give them a ticket. They could come to our booth and get a little cup of fresh berries. We handed out over 1,000 tickets. They were recycling the tickets. Delbert was trying to save them to count them, and he was like, "We don't have any more, just reuse these." So that was really cool. We had a lot of vendors sell out, so they were really happy with that. On the sports side, we're really excited to say that the Special Olympics team from Embracing Abilities practices every Thursday night at our fields that we just purchased earlier this year. We call them the 104 fields. That's the address. So their softball team is there practicing, and we're really excited to host them Also, very exciting, we are the host of the Little League World Series District Tournament at Avon Youth Sports Fields. Yeah, that's really cool. So for that, we had to qualify and meet Little League standards and expectations on specific fields. They have like a ton of standards, and 2 of our fields actually qualify for that. So we are able to host tonight. Actually, Danville is playing Avon in the 10U tournament, and it's going to be a huge game. That's for 9 consecutive evenings, if you didn't know. So that's our staff is out there all day prepping those fields, and then in the evenings cleaning up. So I'm really thankful for them, and to be able to say that we can host that is awesome. Thank you. Oh, do you have any questions?
Just want to say thank you for everything you've done and all your staff with the night at the park, and now with this first I've heard about this Little League thing, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Shelby.
Brian Nugent, Deputy Chief with the Police Department. Chief Stoops is up north on a fishing vacation right now, so if he's watching, thanks for that. Appreciate that. So, yeah. We have a lot of stuff going on, too. It's just such a busy time for us. 2025, in my opinion, has been one of the most challenging years for us as an agency for so many different reasons. But we have a lot of things to be thankful for. And so a lot of those include our staff coming on board. We have a new officer that's beginning with us on Monday. He comes to us with some military experience, and him and his daughter had just gave birth to their first child about last week. And so it's kind of exciting to get to learn somebody at this phase in their life and communicate with them and kind of build that relationship at such a delicate time. Kind of in that same vein, one of our officers, Monica Childers, had been off. She actually just had her first little baby girl. And so happy and healthy, everyone's doing well. So that was a pretty good piece of news to get this morning and find out that she's doing well. More on the operations side of things, we did apply for a drone grant. It had been about a year and a half ago. It took over a year for it to get approved by the federal government from all the red tape that's out there. And we identified 6 of our officers to have to go get certified. And that's a pretty encumbering process of studying things and getting Part 107 certified and whatnot. So most of those guys are now certified. So we're kind of looking forward to seeing that program roll out a little bit more comprehensive. Has a lot of different technologies that we can use for finding missing people. Obviously, people, endangered populations and underserved communities will be benefiting from that sort of technology. I know that there had to be some adjustments, and I want to tell you thank you for doing so for your next council meeting. The only day we were able to secure for night out at the high school was next Thursday, which conflicted with the regular council schedule. So I apologize to be a part of that conflicting orchestrating of timeline. But I appreciate you guys being flexible to that so you can be supportive of our event too. We also were here for the July 3rd event, had a really good time. I thought the turnout was remarkable. A lot of good engagement from the public. We had officers had their stand. We had the radar speed pitch going. Just a lot of good positive relationships, which is obviously the cornerstone of what we're trying to do with Night Out Against Crime. And so we've been really busy planning that event as well. We also have already had a couple budget preparation meetings with our leadership team. I had a productive conversation with Brian a few weeks ago. I know there's a great deal of uncertainty about Senate Bill 1 and all of the financial impact. And so obviously communication is a big part of what we do, and working with Brian to make sure that our budget needs are met as best as we can. And doing that is certainly in the forefront of our planning with our team. I mentioned something to you guys before the meeting started, just kind of informally on a one-on-one basis. We will be also trying to put together a more recent staffing study to kind of give you an idea of where we're at versus call volumes and comparatively speaking with other agencies. We haven't done that for about 4 or 5 years. And a lot of times that data changes. And so for us, we want to make sure you guys have informed perspectives as well as us when we make our staffing requests and talk about being competitive and obviously having enough manpower to do so. So the only other thing I have on here is that probably in August, we'll come to you for approval for vehicle purchases. So several vehicles that we purchased for our 2025 budget actually being produced this week and next week. And when those arrive in Fort Wayne, we'll have to have some conversations with Ryan and Julie about financing, paying cash, and that will certainly have to come to you guys for that council approval. But when you see 8 vehicles having been ordered, trust me, we have a plan. So, all right. Happy to answer any questions. Do you have any? No? All right. Thank you, guys.
Steve Moore, Public Works Director. County Road 100 North Raceway Roundabout. We're going to have our pre-construction meeting for that next Thursday. Notice to proceed has been issued to utilities for relocation. So progress on that. 900 East Angelina Way, pre-con is next Tuesday. And the utility relocation is really going well there. Duke is even out today potholing, and they sprung out some poles. So making good progress there. And then Centerpoint is actually done. So making good progress out there on that project. Dan Jones, Phase 3, the field check plans are pretty much complete. Utility coordination is going on right now. Phase 4 is under design, is probably about 40% done. Stormwater utility, the Pines of Avon drainage project is complete. We walked it the other day, and there's some residents that have placed fences and sheds in the utility easement right on top of where we're gonna have to dig for the pipe. So we're gonna have to, I talked to a couple of them already, but we'll have to coordinate with them to get their things moved. Potholes, Eli used 11 bags of cold patch around town, and we also had a contractor who did 3 tons worth of pothole patching. MS4 inspections, Drew and Eli did 108 inspections last month, no fines. Eli did 18 signs and straightened several. Betsy collected $1,424 from accidents, restoring signs that got knocked down. She also collected $2,131 in permit fees for 10 permits. And Keaton and Eli conducted 21 right-of-way inspections. Any questions?
2 questions.
Yeah.
100 South between Avon Avenue and 625 was closed. Is that still closed, or is that temporary?
It's closed for this week. Hopefully they'll complete. They poured the center curb yesterday, and then they have to pave the widening, and then they also have to do stone shoulders, which they may do that under traffic. I don't know for sure, but it may run into the beginning of next week.
Is that the Pulte development?
Yes, that's for Vindel, yes.
And then the other one is there any update on the 300 South and Avon Avenue, the Plainfield project, the roundabout there?
Yes, we had a traffic study done and a warrant analysis performed to see if stop signs were warranted. And
Something else.
300
Avon Avenue.
Oh, Avon Avenue. Oh, so yeah, that's closed. That is Plainfield's roundabout project. They did take down the traffic signal. In fact, next week is when the mile vision detection that is ours that we loaned to them will be installed on Ronald Reagan and 200 North. But yeah, that is down, and it's down for like 90 days.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we'll go back to ordinance, introduction of ordinance 2025-22, amending the travel policy.
You've asked us to make changes to your travel policy. This would amend the employee handbook and provide clarification on the specific amounts that would be provided for travel, food expenses. It also updates references that are outdated that were in your policy. This is introduction only. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
We'll show it as introduced. Next is introduction of ordinance 2025-23, amending regulations to provide for recreational archery programming.
Yes, this ordinance amends section 511, which is the general rules and guidelines of your parks. It eliminates some language so that the rules that are contained in the town code will apply to your own parks only, and not any government who might have a park in your town, and also makes clarifications regarding instructional recreation. Happy to answer any questions.
Consider that introduced as well.
I'd like to make a motion to add an item to the agenda, suspend the rules and add an item to the agenda, ordinance 2025-24, amending the stop streets and speed limit schedule.
Thank you. Do we Need to take roll call on that, Ryan? That amendment, okay?
Yes, you do.
Do we have a second?
Oh, second.
Second.
Okay. Robert Pope,
4.
Greg Zuzen,
4.
Don Loudon,
Four.
Bill Holland.
4.
All right, but you want to do it, you want me to? I'm going to do it. So,
Public hearing.
no, we just need to introduce the ordinance, so I'll introduce it, and then if you want to consider another motion so you can act upon it, you may. So the introduction, this ordinance amends your stop and speed ordinance, which is contained in 8.8. And so the first change is on the appendix. It adds the stop designations on County Road 300 South and the intersection with Vestal Road. And the second change has to do with establishing the speed limit. There's again, a clarification on the direction of the road. The speed limit stays the same, but it clarifies the county road west town limits and east town limits. This is introduction only.
I make a motion, we suspend the rules to add the adoption of ordinance 2025-24, amending the stop streets and speed limit schedule.
Second.
Julie, roll call, please.
Bill Holland,
4.
Don Loudon,
Four.
Robert Pope,
4.
Greg Zuzen.
4.
I move we adopt ordinance 2025-24, amending the stop streets and speed limit schedule as presented.
Second.
Julie.
Don Loudon,
Four.
Greg Zuzen,
4.
Robert Pope,
4.
Bill Holland.
4.
My only comment on this is that the town did a multi-way stop control warrant analysis. That cost us money, and I think this is something that Plainfield should have done. So I'd like you to at least present this to Plainfield to see if they'll reimburse us for this cost.
We can do that.
Thank you.
Dan, legal counsel report.
Just report that Mr. Cannon, your attorneys tried the West Central case this week. Requests for special findings are made. So that will mean that the judge will not likely make a decision on that case for 60 or 90 days. I will have Mr. Burnett send you a status report about the trial. And then obviously, as soon as we have a decision, we'll advise you.
Thank you. This is the second opportunity for the public to come forward. No one coming forward. We'll close that session as well. Next is council comment.
I have none. Just a reminder, I will not be at the next council meeting that on the 23rd.
Okay, I would just remind everybody that the Hendricks County Fair opens July 13th. Again, National Night Out happening in Avon July 24th. And Avon Talks Away Day is at Hickory Elementary, and that's going to be on July 12th. Ryan, council calendar.
Yeah, you hit a couple of my things, Dawn. Just a couple of reminders. The planning staff did schedule a special meeting on July 14th to introduce the comprehensive plan to the Plan Commission. You guys are certainly welcome to come. It'll be introduced to you guys as well, so don't feel obligated to come. You'll certainly get that. But we did invite the public to that meeting, and we're starting the process of putting it through the approval phase. So again, over the next couple of months, you guys will see that quite a bit.
What time is that?
6:30 p.m. Reminder, you did move your next meeting, so that your next meeting is July 23rd. Dawn, you already hit it. I was going to remind everybody, National Night Out on the 24th. And then everyone should have just, in the last hour or so, your mailboxes probably got pinged by a couple emails from me on the groundbreaking for the Avon Civic Center. And that's July 29th at 5:30 p.m. So I've got.
I think there's several school ribbon cuttings as well.
There are, I didn't give all those. You guys should have gotten invites. I think I put a copy in your box, but I think the chamber is also sending invites out to those. So you should get those invites, yeah, a couple of different ways. Because the school is opening the high school, Willow, Elm, and Middle School West. So there's 4 of them this month. So Evergreen, thank you. I knew it was an E. Sorry about that. Evergreen. So yeah, busy month. So.
All right, thank you. Meeting adjourned.